Mathieu, you're running your own company?
Yeah, service excellence training.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been training yacht crew for the past 12 years.
Yep.
And in general hospitality for the past 25 years. So I created my own program. I've been working on yachts for many years as well. So I use my frontline experience to train other crew.
Yeah.
So my motto is fast, efficient, and elegant.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have millionaires, billionaires waiting for a half an hour for coffee.
No one has time.
I train the crew on board to be like fast and efficient and make sure it's still elegant what they serve and it's still good. So we make it like a Cirque du Soleil around the table, and the girls have to move around, or the crew have to move around and be elegant. And that's what we want to do with a smile and confidence.
Yeah. And time is so important.
Yeah.
Time is the only commodity no one can have more of. Like it's limited. So when we deal with, very wealthy, very successful people, this is the thing they cannot afford to lose and to, cannot abuse their time.
No. But still, it has to be like gracious.
Yes.
And with confidence, because this is the thing that is a bit short on the yachts now. Yeah. Like, they're not confident, they're hesitating. One of my main things during the training is guest language. Mm-hmm. How to communicate with your guests, how to ask questions, how to respond to questions from your client, from the owner, and just to be sure that
how to read the room,
how to do a tour on a boat. Where do you walk? Where do the guests walk? What do you say? How do you say it? What if something is cancelled? How to bring a message across? How to bend over a negative experience to a positive experience. Yeah. So we do a lot of training of that. Also, if you have questions from charter clients, so they come out of the blue with a question, in 2 days, it's my wife's birthday party, what can we do? Yeah. And majority is something like, so how to follow your feet and like respond in a way on the spot and see what you can do. Yeah. So, and guest really.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And for the crew, time to shine.
Yeah, of course. It's all about the experience. How did you come up with the idea of building this this company, this business?
Actually, it came a little bit naturally, because whenever I joined a project, I had the team or no team. I had to create a team, and the team that I hire have to work with me. Yeah. So on the last project, I was there for 3.5 years, and my team stayed with me for 3.5 years.
Was it a land base or was it a boat? I'm sure you can't say the name, and we don't need the name, just the idea.
It was a super yacht, and I trained the crew, and we did an amazing job for 3.5 years. So that proves again, if you train your crew well, they stay together. Yeah. Because they were all trained at the same level. Yeah. So everybody could do everything. Yeah. That sometimes on other yachts is like you have third, second, first, chief steward, this and that. And not everybody can do the same thing. So there's a first friction between crews sometimes, because one person knows how to do it, the other one doesn't know. So the person that knows how to do it has to do it all the time. Yes. And does not train her colleague, or there's no time, or this and that. So I do training before the season. And I even give the boats a certificate. Also the crew, but also the boat, to prove for that season the crew is ready. Yeah. And it's a selling point as well for the brokers. Yeah, of course. So they can use it on their website or all the ads that they do online. They say that the crew has been fully trained and they're ready for the season. And they're ready for you, the charter client or owner. Yeah. So you have a little bit of a culinary background, right? Did you work a little bit in
I
did the house school as well in 2001. And then I did 5 years of cooking school.
5 years. Wow. It's really good because you can understand. You can understand both sides. Yeah. But how many?
I speak chef language.
Oh, chef language.
Which is also another language. Yeah. Definitely. So I can communicate very well with the galley department, which is sometimes not always the case between service and the galley. So I also integrate during my training is communication between the two departments.
I was going to ask you this because it's very well to train the interior, the service side of the vessel. But my question was this, is like, do you also, do a little bit of time with the chefs and with the team, interior team? Because interior team is not just the cabins, the girls, the service, it's also the chefs. Yep. We're both interior. We're fighting the same battle, or we're like,
That's why we always try to, depending on the size of the yacht, we also do cross-training between housekeeping and service. The whole team knows what's going on. Yeah. They can assist in each department. And also the chefs are involved. And normally at the end of the training, we do like a test lunch.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, it's always very good.
well, with the
Who's sitting down? You're sitting down, and
no, I'm walking around making little notes.
Yep.
If I can still see some things, but normally the captain is in charge of the guest list. That can be crew, that can be neighbor captains, whatever.
Yeah.
Who can also give an honest opinion of what the experience was. So it goes very, very professional. We really act like it's showtime.
Yeah.
So full uniform for the crew, and then we work together with the chefs as well. I train the crew also for fish filleting.
Yeah.
Ready for fish filleting, all different kinds of fish.
All the gear, all the table side.
How to make your station, what are the condiments, what are your tools, and how you do it. So that's been amazing over the past years. I've showed all the girls how to do that, or any crew member involved in the operation. And guests really like it. It's the catch of the day. The chef makes a huge effort to prepare it to the perfection, and then service brings it out and serve it to perfection. That's like a whole experience, like we discussed already before.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole experience for the guests. They see what's going on. We can all carry plates from the galley to the table, but it's that whole extra thing that counts. And my training is based on all these extras. I can train the team to give something special every lunchtime, every dinner time. So it's always something different for the guest, and also a nice thing to talk about.
Yes.
So I also train the crew of where the products are coming from. There's not just putting down a bottle of olive oil. It's a whole experience. Who is it? Who's the guy behind it? Where is it located?
Yes.
What else do you?
Why did you choose this one?
Why did I choose this one? So I have done a tour now with a chef for 8 days, where we discovered a whole part of Italy. We've been to Scotland. We've been to Islay to resource our products. We found the best salt in the world. We've been to Corky. We've been to a lot of places, and I can tell our guests on board as well. We source that for you.
Yeah.
You can go to every supermarket and get it off the shelf and put it on the table, or any kind of condiment. But what I use during the training, there is a whole story behind it, and you can tell your guests as well. Yeah. It's not like you take things for granted or for random. No, definitely not.
Yeah. You worked on cruise ship before.
Long time ago, I had to change the Millennium Change in year 2000 when I was on board. Yeah. So I did that for 2 years. That was the first steps in my career at sea.
Did you bring something from the cruise ship world into yachting? Or is there something that you still use, or do you feel like it's two different universes?
Not really. Recently, I did a training the other way around. I went back to cruise ship.
Really?
There's a new cruise liner that came out, and the first boat, the first vessel, I trained all the butlers on board. But they won't have they've been to a lot of like schools or this and that, and they discovered it's all a little bit off the shelf program.
Yeah.
And I'm starting from a blank canvas. Yeah. With the yacht experience, with the land-based experience, with the cruise experience. So they called me and said, you know what, can you bring a little bit of the private yachting onto our cruise ship, small cruise ship, under 1,000 guests, like a 950, but 650 crew members. So very high crew ratio.
Very close to a yachting crew to guest ratio.
And there's no main dining room anymore. There's no first seating, second seating. There's not. So it's just dining rooms, all different restaurants you can call. And I trained all the butlers for the suites. The suites were massive. So
Suites, so how big are we talking about on this kind of suite?
The size of an apartment, some of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So each apartment would have their own butler?
Yeah. Sometimes it depends on the size. Sometimes there was for 4 suites that have 1 butler, but there was 24/7 coverage. So, but you always had the same person. He can make the bookings for your restaurant and this and that. And they're like almost half of the training was also the guest language. I'm not native English. None of the butlers were.
Neither am I. You can hear it.
It's the way you talk. Yeah. It's not the
body language is so much more important than the actual spoken words. And I feel because you can say I really like you, but if your body says otherwise, the message is not what you said.
No. And also the way if guests come with a question, how do you answer things you can't say, how to say it? It's very important. Even if I train people native English, they're like, oh my God, I can't even say it like that. Yeah. And, it's really well thought of. It's this is guest language that I've built up over the years. So I train these butlers, and they, as of today, they still use it. Yeah. It's been very handy for them.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Also, service in the suite, how you serve breakfast, how you set up the table, how you do afternoon snacks, everything. Same. You have to organize a party, you have to organize a dinner in the suite, how you start this. It's actually, the question is here from the guest, and the answer is here.
Yeah.
So you go for the shortest way. You don't go that way. So you start the conversation with a guest, and then like he pops the question, and then you need to have.
But it's a valid point. It's a very valid point, because what I want to call, maybe I'm wrong, but what I want to call small talk with guests, when you need to respect this boundary between the guest and the crew, or the guest and the it's not, no one really know how to do it. You have to learn what you can say, what you cannot say, the question you can ask, the one you shouldn't ask.
Stay professional, but light. Don't be too formal.
Yeah.
You're still in the hospitality where everybody's on holiday.
Yes.
But it still needs to be professional. The guest might joke a little bit. You can always like anticipate on that, definitely. But it's not a comedy show.
Yeah.
But you talk to guests like not like family, but like on a good, careful, professional way. But keep your distance and don't give too much information away.
Yeah, of course.
That's the main thing.
What about butlers? Because I know butlers are quite common in, private residences. Do you see more butlers on yachts, on big yachts, or do you feel like the chief steward or perhaps the interior manager is holding that position, or that those abilities?
More and more dual skills, dual position.
There is no like a sole butler position on board.
Some of them have. I know from yachts they have a full-time sommelier on board as well, because the owner is a big wine lover.
Yeah.
So he has a sommelier on board. Some people love to have their massages, sometimes twice a day, so they have a full-on professional.
They have the masseuse, yes, of course.
So it all depends a little bit on the owner. If you have charter clients, you have to anticipate. Sometimes we have to bring somebody in extra. So I have been on charters before where they really, really were keen on cocktails, so you get a professional guy on for 2 weeks. So it all depends what the guests want, and make sure you have the professional person on.
Yeah, of course. So the kind of service you're doing, you do it on yachts, on big yachts. What's the smallest yacht that has called you and say, Mathieu, can you come and help us out? Can you teach us? Can you teach us?
Here, I think that's the smallest one. Hey, why not? I've been on yachts, so let's say the smallest one. So
I like that we're calling this a yacht. Like,
it has the looks already.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's raining. I'm very happy, very grateful. We are.
Call it classic.
Yes, it is classic motor yacht.
Yeah, but the smallest one I've been on, I think it's around 30 meters, and the biggest one is like almost 2 football field long, nearly 200 meters. So there's a big range. But for me, for my job, it's predominantly from, let's say, 70, 80, 90. And 100 and more. Yeah. 100 meters more, because they don't always need an interior manager on the smaller vessels. However, since 2 years now, I'm project interior manager and beside the training. So people call me for a yacht that's in transition, new owner, and they bring
refit.
I recently was on a project where the boat was sold, the new owner. Obviously, new owner wants to have new things.
Yes.
So they hired me to overview the whole project and to make sure the crew was there. The new crew was there. They were all trained. Everybody was in place. New equipment was bought. The follow-up of all the cabins, that everything was done. Ordering all new linens and this and that. So, make it ready for the owner to step on. So I did that project and handed over the baby when it was ready. And then the chief steward and the crew takes over.
Yeah.
So sometimes,
and then you have follow-up with after that? Next year,
they can always call me and they say whatever they need. They need assistance in provisioning, assistant changing crew. Sometimes the chefs call me. Sometimes I have to assist them in making bookings, or they have big events where I have to look for venues. So I'm the interior manager behind the scenes, where they can rely on, regardless where they are in the world. So, and even on bigger vessels, sometimes they call me, Mathieu, we need to be ready for the season. Can you come in for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on. And then
they have new crew.
Voilà.
They have new interior crew. They have new girls.
I spoke to a vessel here, a yacht, when I was here, and almost all crew is new.
Yeah.
Also the galley. So galley, interior, and they go to a shipyard short period, and they need to be ready for the winter. So we were in contact and say, Mathieu, maybe you should come on board for 1 or 2 weeks and make sure we are ready. My trainings are also team buildings, because everything is hands-on. We work together.
Yeah.
And you should be surprised. Sometimes some girls from housekeeping come into service and they blossom like a flower. They've never done it before. And
it's true. And they never got the chance to try it.
Well, and then it's like a natural talent that comes out. They're like, wow. And then the colleagues are surprised as well. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Before I started,
I used to do it.
I used to be a waitress or this. Really? So, and then people are surprised, and that benefits definitely into the team spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're doing more, I want to say, you're teaching more people skills, or you're teaching more techniques? If we can make a separation between the two.
It's 50-50. I mean, it's team building. That's like make sure all characters are working together, which is a very important thing.
Essential. It's essential for team building. Yeah.
I always say hire for attitude and train skills.
Yes.
And then if you have a good attitude, your team is very well together. Or I assist on that, and then I train them in the skills. And that's normally the key of success.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Attitude you can't change, skills.
You can learn.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's more and more the trend that we have, like people working together. There is a good atmosphere on board. People are happy, they work well together. Because at the end of the day, you all live together. You live together, you work together.
So important.
And if you can work and live together as friends or good colleagues, call it that way, so you support each other. It's not a one-man show. You're the team.
And the attitude, you're right, it's so important, because you will have the attitude. It's not just the behavior, it's also what you're willing to do, how far you can go, how far you want to try to please or to learn.
And believe me, the guests can feel it.
If you can feel it, probably the captain can, probably the colleagues can, the guests are, we're all human. At the end of the day, we all want good experience. And it doesn't matter if it's about living and sharing the accommodation with someone, or if it's being served, it's the same. You can see if someone is just had a bad day and you're like...
or feel it if there's a tension, some tension between the crew, or if the crew works very well together.
Yeah.
I had so many times the compliments with the amazing team. It's not my show, definitely not. We work together as a team. But it was like good compliment. Like, oh my God, there's such a good vibe amongst you guys. We really like it when you guys are around us, because guests are there, having lunch, dinner, crew is always around. And then like, when the good vibe is there and some good banter between crew, guests love it. But if that is not the case, if the crew is like that, guests feel it. And crew is so important during operations, definitely.
Yes.
It's not only the boat, but the crew makes us perfect.
Yeah, for sure. So Mathieu, what are you trying to get from the yacht show? What are you just here to meet new people and old friends?
This definitely, but also some yachts that I've been in contact for trainings. So I've been on board, visiting the boat, and meet the captain, the chief stew, and discuss future projects. Quite a bunch of new builds on.
I know, I've seen all the design, the new project, the idea, the sketches.
Yeah, and
it's growing.
Definitely. So it's connecting with people, and it's been very successful. It's day 2 now, so I'm very, very happy so far. So 2 more days to go. Yeah, happy.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mathieu. I know you have a lot to do. Today's a busy day as well for me. We've got a lot of people to see, a lot of people to talk to.
It's good.
It's good. It's amazing. Busy is what we're here for. Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Mathieu.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Mathieu.
Ciao. Bye.